Wow. Is that my Haitian music? What we got here?
Yep, straight from Haitian. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays on AM 1170. The Answer. I am setting in studio with my co-host, Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. Before the break, we were talking with Bryan Mancuso with the Whissel Realty team. Him and I, Kyle Whissel, our host here, we've got a couple properties coming up for you in La Mesa. These are not public yet. So if you're looking to make a move, you like the La Mesa area, we got two killer properties for you, both priced in the 500s. Love to get you access to those before they go public. And if you've been in the market at all recently, you know that once things go public, it gets pretty competitive out there. So getting that early access can really be crucial for you in your home search. Give us a call or shoot us a text. We would love to get you early access to these things. 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Shoot us a text or give us a call. Jason, I want to ask you a question.
Hey, before you do, La Mesa.
Yes.
I live in La Mesa. Brian lives in La Mesa. People need to realize La Mesa is one of the closest areas to Mission Valley and downtown, and it's one of the best neighborhoods. And people don't realize, they think like La Mesa's way out there. It literally takes 10 to 15 minutes to get to Mission Valley. It takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to get to downtown, unless there's a traffic or accident type of thing. But it's amazingly close. I mean, literally from, let's just say Dave & Buster's, right underneath the 805 there next to the 8. It's like 6 to 7 miles to La Mesa. And people think it's 20, 30 miles. Yeah, exactly. Right? They think it's like, somehow Pine Valley or Alpine. Like La Mesa's right there. It's right past San Diego State. It's the very next community just east of San Diego State, right there on the Mesa.
And the old downtown La Mesa area is just coming up right now. If you're a foodie, keep an eye on that.
There's some great restaurants coming.
I know a couple guys in studio that are foodies.
Yep.
They might run a food blog.
They might. And we actually have eaten at a few places there, right, Coachy? We've been there.
Yeah, we've eaten at them.
Yeah, see, I'm not an English major, but you wanted to ask me a question probably about mortgages, home loans. Mr. Hall,
I'm not going to ask you a question about grammar English. That's a dang sure. So I forwarded you an email today, Jason.
Yeah.
And I had gotten pitched something by another lender.
Sure.
And they've got a program now. We're all familiar with GoFundMe, right? You have an event happen, somebody passes away, house burns down, unfortunate things happen in life. And it's become an easy way for people to fundraise, and using the power of social media. It's been a game changer in the fundraising world. Well, they basically have some options now. I think it's literally called Home Fund Me, which there's probably going to be a trademark lawsuit there because I think you got to change a certain percentage, and that's a pretty damn close copycat of it. I think your autocorrect might even do that for you.
Right.
But they're basically coming out with some crowdfunding stuff now for people when they want to put a down payment on a house, which is crazy enough. And then this particular program not only involves crowdfunding, but also involves the lender and the agent funding as well.
Pitching in.
Wow.
Everybody pitching in to help somebody buy a home with no money down. So want to get your thoughts first on crowdfunding your down payment, and then second on this particular program that involves the agent and lender helping out.
Yeah, I mean, just so I understand, I'm understanding the word crowdfunding is like everybody else is funding me besides me, like the crowd, right? Like everybody else is helping pitching in for me to buy a house. So like when you get married and you guys decide, hey, we're going to get, what's that called? A wedding list? What's it called?
A registry?
Registry. Thank you, Kyle, right? I wouldn't think of that word. And, you say, hey, we're registered here. Everybody go and buy us gifts here. That's kind of what they're trying to do with crowdfunding in these particular loan programs that are coming out, that apparently Fannie and Freddie are kind of test marking it in certain areas with certain mortgage companies. And they're like, we know one of the biggest things in San Diego is the down payment. We know a lot of people that make 50 to 150 grand a year, but they don't have that 3, 5, 10, or 20% down payment. That's probably the biggest hurdle. They might have the great credit. I mean, I met with a couple last night. They got an 800 credit score. He's a teacher, so he's making, about $70,000 a year. She works part-time, so she's maybe making $10,000, $15,000 as they're raising their 2 kids. And they're paying almost $2,000 a month in rent. Does this sound normal? Right? We hear this all the day. I see Brian shaking his head. And yet they have no more than $5,000 as a possible down payment. So it's very hard for them to qualify. And so we're looking at some different down payment assistance programs, but there is the one that Kyle's referring to. There is a program that's apparently legit, and it's still in the test phase, and they're rolling this stuff out, that allows you to go to like a Fund Me page, Home Fund Me, and say, hey, family and friends, pitch in $5, pitch in $100, pitch in $5,000, whatever you can. We're trying to raise money, right? So that's a nice, unique source. And then they also want the lender to pitch in money through their commission along with the real estate agent. So I guess the question to you, Bryan, is, hey, if you're typically only getting a 2.5% commission on a buy, would you give up 1% to help a client, right? And it's going to be a tough question. I mean, you don't want to, because a lot of times you spend a lot of money to do that. Part of our thought is, well, then everybody's going to say, well, if you took 1.5 for this client, why don't you take 1.5 for every client?
Yep.
Right? A good listing agent like Kyle, who's grinning over here, goes, yeah, I'll still charge 6.5, and only give you guys 1.5, right? Like, because you would do it for the other guy. So it's kind of interesting. But a lot of guys would be like, yeah, I'll pitch in my commission because I have no clients, I have no business. So I'll give up 60, 50% of my commission, whatever it might be, to help this client get in. So it's an interesting way to do it because it is the biggest hurdle that I see. I can help clients fix their credit. We have friends that are credit magicians that can do amazing things. I've helped people get their credit score up 100 points in less than 30 days. It's amazing if you know how to do things, how you can improve credit. I can't improve someone's income, so your income is what it is. But this is one way that people are trying to improve their down payment. And hey, let's go out to multiple sources, crowdfunding, and come up with ideas. So that's kind of what I'm, reading into that. So it's interesting. But I know there's people out there like myself that goes, well, wait a minute. Isn't this kind of what happened when the market kind of got to the top last time? They were coming up with creative things and doing things, and maybe not. I mean, the one thing I think Bryan and I and Kyle will definitely agree on is we're definitely still in a shortage of inventory because of the market crash. There wasn't many homes built, and we still have tons of people wanting to live here in San Diego. And unless they continue to raise our income tax and not let us write off our federal where everybody leaves, I think people will still want to live here in San Diego for many, many years to come. So I think the market should continue to go up, but we always know something's going to happen that nobody predicted, or at least 99.9% of the people didn't predict, that's going to make a churn. So some of my thoughts on that particular program, Kyle.
Is that all?
Yes, at all.
Oh, okay.
Are we into the segment, right? Show's about ready to wrap.
I think we went over to like the next hour already with that one. I love it. Again, you're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer. We're talking with Jason Hall, Team Home Loans. The guy's been in the business longer than most of us have been alive. If you want to get connected with Jason, give us a call, shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. What's your thoughts on that, Bryan? I mean, on it's HomeFundMe, not GoFundMe, but people crowdfunding their down payments.
Well, I can kind of jump on what Jason was saying about getting creative when we start getting to the top like this. And I can see some of the benefit of it, but I can also see something that kind of scares me a little bit is getting people in the home that can't afford it. They're looking for the funds to get in, and that's a little scary. And
they have no skin in the game, right? Like if they only have to put 1% or no percent down, maybe if the market does go down 3%, 5% 1 year, oh my gosh, here, take the house, bank.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's a concern. But the VA loan is 99% of the time no money down.
Exactly.
And those veterans, those loans outperformed everything during the crash. So, there is something to say about going through boot camp, having somebody scary to make sure you always pay your bills and you tell the truth, you be honest. These are some of the things my dad did. My brother served. I know Kyle's dad served. And so it's a unique thing when you go through boot camp and get trained up through the military. And maybe we need to have some type of boot camp before people get into a program like that, right? That would be interesting. Like, hey, if we're all going to pitch in and help you, let's go through a week course, a 2-week course, a 30-day course, something that they all of a sudden have some skin in the game, and they're going to do everything in their power to make sure those mortgage payments are paid on time, even if the market shifts like it will at some point, because it always bounces back. And that's our only concern. Now Kyle's probably like, well, I'll just get another listing, right? Like I know his mind's thinking like, well, hey, if they bail, I'll just, short sell their house and, I'll have another buyer come in and buy. I don't know.
So negative. We don't think like that, Jason.
Oh, I know how you think. You always think about how to sell a house.
That's just what we do. That's our job.
That's your
it's
job.
Funny. We had posted on Facebook last week, and we had posted something like highest sales price in history for a particular complex. And somebody's like, well, we certainly won't be using you when we're ready to make a move. It's like, Pretty sure sellers hire us to get the highest price possible. That's our job.
That is your job.
Yeah. So when we set a record, that is absolutely something.
But there's
that we're
always a
gonna
hater
brag
out
about.
there, right?
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Yep.
What else you got to end? What else you got to end us up on the show? We got to save that clip somewhere. It's somewhere out
That
there.
almost came spewing
Yeah,
out
it
from
did.
Mr. Mancuso. I love it. So
Yeah.
if you listen to the show today, if you're interested in the Home Fund Me program, if you're interested in these properties we've got coming up in the La Mesa area, you want access to them before they go public, give us a call, shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Thanks so much for listening this Wednesday to Whissel Wednesdays. We will talk to you next week.